upon my wretchedness, in that now my husband will begin to love me. GE 29. 30-32. 35. 23. 46. 8. X1. 1, 2. 1 ch2. 1 as a result of Jehovah's continued favor on his mother, Reuben, and his 5 full brothers Simeon, Levi, Judah, Issachar, and Zebulun constituted half of the original tribal heads of Israel. The other 6, Joseph, Benjamin, Dan, Naphtali, Gad, and Asher, were Reuben's half-brothers. GE 35. 23-26. Some of Reuben's good qualities displayed themselves when he persuaded his 9 brothers to throw Joseph into a dry well instead of killing him, Reuben intending to return secretly and deliver Joseph out of the well. GE 37. 18-30. More than 20 years later, when these same brothers reasoned that the spy charges against them down in Egypt were due to their mistreatment of Joseph, Reuben reminded the others that he had not shared in their plot on Joseph's life. GE 42. 9-14, 21, 22. Again, when Jacob refused to let Benjamin accompany his brothers on their second trip to Egypt, it was Reuben who offered his own 2 sons as surety, saying, "You may put them to death if I do not bring Benjamin back to you." GE 42. 37. As the firstborn son of Jacob, Reuben naturally had the rights of the firstborn son of the family. As such, he was entitled to 2 portions in the estate that his father Jacob left behind. At the time just before Jacob's death, when he blessed his sons, the question was, would Reuben come into these rights of the firstborn? Also, the patriarch Jacob, as head of the family, had acted as Jehovah's priest for the whole family and had offered up sacrifices at the family altar and had led in prayer and in giving religious instruction. As father, he had also acted as the governor of the whole family and of all its servants, its livestock, and its properties. Would these responsibilities devolve upon Reuben? Jacob dealt with Reuben first, saying, "Reuben, you are my firstborn, my vigor and the beginning of my generative power, the excellence of dignity and the excellence of strength. With reckless license like waters, do not you excel, because you have gone up to your father's bed. At that time you profaned my lounge." He went up to it. GE 49. 3, 4. Jacob recalled a disqualification for Reuben that affected his future privileges. Reuben had disgraced his father. He had committed incestuous immorality with his father's concubine, Bilhah, the maidservant of Jacob's beloved wife Rachel. This was shortly after Rachel died following her giving birth to Benjamin. The Bible record does not explain whether firstborn Reuben violated the maidservant Bilhah to prevent her from taking Rachel's place in Jacob's affection, thus becoming more favored than Reuben's mother Leah, or whether Reuben acted out of sheer lust for Bilhah. It simply says, "And it came about while Israel was tabernacling in that land that once Reuben went and lay down with Bilhah his father's concubine, and Israel got to hear of it." GE 35. 22. The Greek Septuagint adds, "And it appeared evil in his sight." GE 35. 21. LXX, Thompson. Reuben was not disowned and cast out for this. It was years later, o textoi acute miritra longo, Reuben 796 experience enumerated 46,500 Reubenites fit for military service, 20 years old and upward. About 39 years later this force, now 43,730, was somewhat less. New 1. 2, 3, 20, 21. 26. 5-7. In the camp of Israel the Reubenites, flanked by the descendants of Simeon and Gad, were situated on the east side of the tabernacle. When on the march this 3-tribe division headed by Reuben followed the 3-tribe division of Judah, Issachar, and Zebulun. New 2. 10-16. 10. 14-20. This was also the order in which the tribes made their presentation offerings on the day the tabernacle was inaugurated. New 7. 1, 2, 10-47. When Korah the Levite rebelled against Moses, 3 Reubenites, On, the son of Peleth, along with Dathan and Abiram, sons of Eliab, joined in the revolt, charging Moses with trying to play the prince over them and with failing to bring them into a land flowing with milk and honey. Nemuel, the brother of Din and Abiram, apparently took no part in the revolt. New 16. 1, 12-14. 26. 8, 9 Jehovah showed that a revolt was actually disrespect against him. He caused the earth to open up and swallow the rebels and their families alive, together with all their belongings. New 16. 23-33. 11. 6. See Abiram number 1. Territory assignments. Shortly before Israel entered the Promised Land, the tribes of Reuben and Gad requested that they be given territory of the Jordan. The land had been acquired through the victory over the two kings Sihon and Og. They reasoned that it was ideal for them because they had large flocks and herds. Moses granted this request to them on half the tribe of Manasseh on one condition, that the fighting forces of these tribes also cross over the Jordan and assist the other tribes in the conquest of Canaan, a condition that the 2.5 tribes willingly met. New 32. 1-38. Jos 1,